In the cold silence of space, the alien fleet arrived. Thousands of warships cut through the dark, their weapons glowing with deadly light. The stars seemed to tremble as beams of energy lit the void. The alien commanders spoke with pride, their voices full of arrogance. To them, Earth was only a small world, weak and unprepared. They believed this war would end in days. The first strike was planned with precision. Giant cruisers opened fire on human outposts near Mars, turning metal and stone into burning fragments. The aliens laughed, convinced they had broken the will of humanity. But inside hidden command centers deep under Earth's oceans and mountains, the human response was very different. Generals watched the invasion with calm eyes. Soldiers stood ready, their expressions steady, almost cold. No one screamed. No one panicked. It was as if they expected this all along. The alien leaders mistook that silence for fear, but the truth was far more dangerous. Humanity had been waiting for this moment. What looked like weakness was only the beginning of something greater. As the alien armada moved closer to Earth, one human officer leaned forward, his voice steady. The order was clear, sharp, and filled with hidden power. "Activate Phase 1!" The screen flickered, and the real battle was about to begin. The alien fleets pushed forward with pride, their banners glowing in the dark. Across the galaxy, the invasion was broadcast to the Galactic Council. Thousands of alien leaders gathered in the Great Chamber, their eyes fixed on the massive screens showing Earth's skies under fire. Many laughed, their voices echoing with arrogance. They said humanity was reckless, too wild to survive. Now they believed the proof was here. Cities would fall and humans would beg. Yet as the broadcast continued, something strange happened. Human generals appeared on the screens, calm and composed. Their faces showed no fear, only quiet control. Some even smirked as if they were watching a simple exercise. Whispers spread in the council chamber. Why did the humans not plead for mercy? Why were their soldiers standing tall, waiting in silence, as enemy ships rained fire from above? The councillors shifted uneasily in their seats, their laughter fading into low murmurs. One alien delegate leaned closer to the feed, his scaled face pale. "This is wrong," he whispered. "They are not fighting for survival. They are practicing." In that moment, a sudden alarm cut through the chamber. A massive human warship had entered alien space, alone. Its black hull reflected no light, its size dwarfing anything the aliens had ever built. Gasps filled the room as the vessel turned, its weapons powering up. The screens shook, and then the feed cut to black. The alien armada pressed deeper into human territory, burning colonies and smashing defense outposts. To the invaders, every battle looked like an easy victory. Small human ships appeared, fought briefly, then vanished into the void. Alien commanders mocked this behavior, calling it cowardice. They did not realize every clash was carefully designed, every retreat planned with purpose. In hidden asteroid fields near Jupiter, the truth unfolded. Young human pilots sat in cockpits, their voices calm as they faced overwhelming odds. These were not desperate soldiers. They were cadets, running combat drills against real enemies. The alien fleet had become humanity's greatest training exercise. Human commanders watched from shadowed stations, recording every maneuver, every tactic, every weakness in alien design. The battles were not about winning territory. They were about learning how to break an empire. Yet the aliens, blinded by arrogance, celebrated each so-called victory. They broadcast their triumphs across the galaxy, unaware that humanity was sharpening its blade. Then deep scans revealed something strange. The humans had deployed only fragments of their fleet. Where was the rest? Why had Earth's true armada not moved? In the council chamber, silence spread like ice. A single word passed between frightened voices. Decoys. At that moment, alarms screamed in the alien command ship. Shadows moved beyond Neptune, too large to be raiding ships. Something vast was waking, and the invaders realized too late. They had never faced humanity's real strength. From high above Earth, alien commanders expected chaos. They imagined cities in flames, people screaming, governments collapsing under the weight of fear. But when their cameras swept over the planet, what they saw instead froze them in silence. Streets were calm, Citizens moved with order, not panic. Factories thundered night and day, but not for defense shields or last-stand weapons. They were building something bigger, something hidden behind the veil of Earth's silence. Massive orbital rings around the moon glowed as unfinished hulls of titanic ships stretched into the void. Construction yards deep in orbit sparkled with lights as fleets of workers assembled war machines too large to hide any longer. Still, alien commanders told themselves it was impossible. No species could create warships on that scale without the Council noticing. And yet there they were, steel giants slowly awakening above Earth. Beneath the oceans, even stranger things moved. Submerged chambers pulsed with energy, their cores humming like the heartbeats of sleeping beasts. Engineers whispered about Project Leviathan, a weapon so powerful it was buried far from alien eyes, deep under crushing waters. The aliens mocked humanity's calmness, but unease was spreading through their ranks. Why did the humans act like time was on their side? Why did every soldier on Earth walk with the certainty of victory already decided? Then a quiet transmission was intercepted, one that chilled every alien officer who heard it. A human voice, calm and steady, whispered, "The fleets are not ready yet." Hold the line. Far beyond the reach of alien scanners, shadows stirred in the deep. On forgotten moons and icy worlds, engines that had slept for decades roared to life. Caverns split open as hidden hangars released their secrets, sleek, black warships rising like predators from the dark. Thousands of vessels emerged from icy rings, drifting silently before their thrusters ignited with blinding fire. These were not the scattered raiding ships the aliens had fought. This was the true armada, humanity's blade held in reserve. Inside the Leviathan shipyards near Neptune, something even greater stirred. A warship so massive it seemed to block out the stars rose from its cradle, its hull gleaming with strange armor that absorbed every strike of light. The Leviathan-class dreadnought, long whispered about in council rumors, was no myth. It was real, and its size made alien battleships look like toys. Soldiers stood at attention as they boarded, their expressions calm, their training complete. Alien commanders scrambled as new signals appeared on their screens, fleets larger than anything recorded in history. Panic spread through the invasion armada as they realized the truth. What they thought was the war had only been humanity's warm-up. The humans had allowed the enemy to strike first, not out of weakness but out of patience. As the first Leviathan broke through Neptune's clouds, its shadows swallowed entire squadrons of alien ships. The dreadnought turned slowly, engines glowing like suns, and one human commander gave the order. Advance! The galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. The news of the Leviathans spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, fear crept into voices that once mocked humanity. In the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, alien delegates gathered in panic. The great screens flickered with live feeds, black human warships moving in perfect formations, Leviathans blotting out stars, entire fleets rising where no scouts had ever reported. Whispers filled the air, claws and tendrils tapping nervously against desks. The arrogance that had filled the chamber only days ago was gone. Now there was dread. One counselor slammed a fist against the table. They hid this from us. No empire could build such ships without us knowing. But another voice, quieter, answered, "Perhaps we never looked closely enough. Perhaps we never wanted to see." The chamber fell into silence as human envoys entered. They wore no armor, carried no weapons, yet every step echoed like thunder. Their soldiers followed behind them, hands empty but eyes steady, radiating a calm that unsettled every alien in the room. The lead envoy paused, scanning the terrified faces before him. His voice was calm, almost soft, yet every word struck like a hammer. "You call this war," he said. "We call it training." Gasps filled the hall. Some counselors trembled, others shouted in denial. But before anyone could respond, a transmission cut across every channel. The human fleet was no longer defensive, it was moving. Engines lit across the void, and their heading was unmistakable. They were coming straight for the Council's homeworld. The alien armada rallied in desperation, gathering every battleship, cruiser, and fighter they could muster. Vast formations filled the void, their weapons glowing, their commanders shouting orders with frantic energy. They told themselves numbers would be enough. But when the first human fleet arrived, silence spread across alien bridges. The Leviathans moved at the center, colossal dreadnoughts that seemed to bend the stars around their hulls. Surrounding them, thousands of smaller human warships flew in flawless patterns, every maneuver sharp and precise. It was not chaos. It was discipline, the kind only forged through endless drills and hard training. The aliens fired first. Beams of plasma and storms of missiles slammed against the human lines. Explosions lit the darkness, and for a moment the Council dared to hope. But when the fire cleared, the Leviathans still advanced. Their shields shimmered like oceans of light, absorbing the storm without breaking. Then the humans answered. In a single coordinated strike, entire alien squadrons vanished. Cruisers tore apart like glass. Carriers split in two under the thunder of rail cannons. Alien commanders screamed orders, but their fleets fell apart under the calm precision of humanity's response. Each move, each strike looked effortless, as if the humans were not struggling but testing. On the Council homeworld, delegates watched in horror as their greatest armada crumbled. A chilling truth sank into every heart. This was not war. This was humanity, showing only a fraction of what they could do. And then came the final command: release the protocol.